This clip is brought to you by SaveWithConrad.com.
Unfortunately, we've got some bad news in the Observer in this era about your health. Meltzer would write, the latest ankle neck injury appears to have stemmed from his January 16th match with Shawn Michaels when he landed badly doing the angle slam off the top rope. That move may have to be removed from his repertoire. Most feel he's not pretending to be hurt publicly into the office because he hasn't had a title run since 2003, which he believes is because Vince McMahon doesn't trust his durability to put him in that position. He hasn't actually missed time in a long time and has been pushing hard for 18 months that he should get the title either on SmackDown or Raw. So let's start at the beginning of that report. Do you remember this match with Shawn and the angle slam where you supposedly were re-injured?
Yes, it was our rubber match, and it was on Raw, I think, right?
Yep.
And I did an angle slam from the top rope and landed on the back of my head. I broke 4 vertebrae in my neck again. The thing is, I went back to the doctor, and the good thing was no discs moved. They stayed in place. The vertebrae were broken. They were cracked. So my doctor, I asked him if I could still wrestle because I knew I was going to eventually get the world title because I stayed healthy for so long. And this setback would have set me back even further. And I probably wouldn't have won another world title in WWE for the duration that I stayed there. So it was important to me to stay in the game and get another world title. And so I asked him if I could keep wrestling. He said, as long as you're careful, you'll be fine. So I did wrestle. I won the world title with my neck broken against Mark Henry. Then I actually wrestled Undertaker No Way Out with my neck broken. So it wasn't a smart move, but it was something that I felt that I needed at the time.
I'm curious, does that motivation come from the businessman in you who says, hey, if you're the world champion, you're going to make more money? Or is it the competitor in you of, hey, I've always won gold medals and world titles, and I kind of want to win another one?
It's both. You get paid more, obviously, and you get more titles added to your name. So you get the best of both worlds with that situation, definitely.
What do you make of Meltzer's report that you haven't really acknowledged the injury as much as maybe you could because you wanted to sort of change Vince's mind about your durability? Did you think Vince questioned your durability at this point?
I believe so, because I didn't have a title run for, I think, 2 or 3 years. So, I had a lot of health issues with my knee and my neck. And so, I wasn't holding up the way Vince expected me to. So the last thing I wanted was another injury, and I got it. But thank God I was able to, I don't want to say hide it, but, keep it under wraps.
The angle slam, is that one of the reasons we started to see less and less of that because of that injury?
Yes, I actually broke my neck prior to that at WrestleMania against Eddie Guerrero. I angle slammed him from the top rope and broke my neck there as well. So it happened on 2 different occasions. I just didn't take it out of my repertoire, and I probably should have.
Right. Meltzer would continue. He's claiming that even if he needs surgery, which he's going to hold off as long as possible, he'll only get the same minor surgery he's had twice and would be back in 2 to 3 months, as opposed to a fusion and missing 1 year. He said surgery is safer than fusion. So if you're wondering if he learned anything about his reoccurring neck injuries, well, there's your answer. He said this is the first time in his career he's allowed to be himself, as opposed to some dorky goofball, some nerd. What do you make of that? I mean, you've admitted before that you really liked making an ass of yourself and hamming it up, but were you excited that now you really are the wrestling machine and you get to be the real Kurt Angle?
Well, from a performance standpoint, you're not as entertaining, and that's what I missed about being the goofy character.
Sure.
Was being funny and entertaining and being a dork, and I like doing that. But I also like being the wrestling machine, being an intense son of a bitch that goes out there and, crushes people. And, I had a battle back and forth of, what I like better, but from a performance standpoint, from a acting standpoint and character standpoint, I liked the Olympic hero. The wrestling machine was more of a wrestler.
Talk to me a little bit about the fusion surgery. We've touched on it briefly before. In hindsight, do you wish the first time you had a neck situation in the company, you would have had the fusion? And
well, the problem was, and this is what Meltzer doesn't know, I was going to have 3 of my vertebrae fused together. If you get 3 of them fused together, you're done. You're retired. You can't wrestle anymore. So I decided to have the repair done the first couple of times. And it worked for me temporarily. But, I mean, fusion would have been the better option, but I would have had to retire.
Hey, it's Conrad Thompson. Thanks for checking out the podcast here on YouTube. Be sure to hit the subscribe button and the notifications bell so you get a notice anytime we upload some new content. And go save yourself some money right now. If you're in a 30-year loan or you have credit card debt, it's not a matter of if I can save you money. It's a matter of how much. Find out right now for free at savewithconrad.com.